Imagine waking up on your 18th birthday, and instead of planning a celebration, the very first thing you do is hire a private attorney to legally erase your own father from your identity. You've seen the headlines about the $500 million divorce, but you haven't seen the legal documents that finally silenced the debate. When Brad Pitt's children went to court to officially erase their father's name, they didn't just change a signature, they sent a message Brad never saw coming. Today, we're uncovering the truth they've been keeping secret for 8 years, and why the Pitt legacy is officially over. In the hyper-calculated world of Hollywood elite, a surname is worth more than gold. It is a brand, a passport to unchecked privilege, and the ultimate marker of dynasty. For decades, the hyphenated name Jolie-Pitt was the most powerful brand in the entertainment industry, representing a beautiful, sprawling family that seemed entirely untouchable. But behind the closed doors of their French estate, Chateau Miraval, a silent coup was being planned. This was not a sudden burst of teenage rebellion or a fleeting phase of adolescent angst. It was a cold, calculated, and legally airtight dismantling of Brad Pitt's legacy, executed not by his ex-wife, but by his own children. For years, the public was led to believe that the bitter custody battles and multi-million-dollar lawsuits were simply a toxic war between two angry ex-spouses. The media painted a narrative of a father desperate to reconnect and a mother determined to keep them apart. But the truth is far more devastating. The children were not passive pawns in their parents' war. They were active participants who were quietly waiting for the clock to run down. But ask yourself this: what would drive multiple siblings, raised in the lap of luxury, to independently spend their own money to legally declare they no longer want to be associated with one of the most famous men on earth? The answer lies in a coordinated strategy that the children themselves refer to as the Great Erasing. This process did not start in a crowded courtroom. It began with subtle, public gestures designed to test the waters. The first public sign of this clean break came from the oldest daughter, Zahara Jolie-Pitt. During her induction into the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority at Spelman College, she stood on stage, projected her voice, and introduced herself as Zahara Marley Jolie. The crowd cheered, but the industry froze. It was a deliberate omission of her father's name, broadcast to the world. Shortly after, the youngest daughter, Vivienne, who worked as an assistant producer on the Broadway musical The Outsiders, made her stance clear. When the official playbills were printed and distributed to thousands of theatergoers, her name was listed simply as Vivienne Jolie. These were powerful symbolic gestures, but Brad's team brushed them off as mere artistic stage names. They claimed it was a temporary phase influenced by their mother's environment. They were completely wrong. These public snubs were merely the opening salvos in a highly coordinated legal campaign that was about to go public. Because while the public was debating whether these name changes were just a phase, a secret filing was made on a specific 18th birthday that changed the legal landscape forever, and it was done completely in secret. That birthday belonged to Shiloh. On the exact day she legally became an adult, Shiloh did not celebrate by going to a club or buying a luxury car. Instead, she hired her own legal counsel, paid the fees entirely out of her own pocket, and marched into the Los Angeles Superior Court to file a formal petition. Her goal was singular: to legally drop the surname Pitt from her legal identity, requesting to be known solely as Shiloh Nouvelle Jolie. But the separation did not stop in the courtroom. Months later, Shiloh made her professional debut as a choreographer for a fashion event in Los Angeles. Instead of using her legal name, the press release credited her as She Jolie, a shortened, highly stylized version of her mother's maiden name. It was an unmistakable professional rebranding, solidifying her choice to step out of her father's shadow permanently. Her attorney, Peter Levine, would later release a highly unusual public statement, confirming that Shiloh had made an independent and significant decision following painful events. This was a critical turning point. It shattered the narrative that Angelina was the sole driver of the family rift. Shiloh's filing was a declaration of independent agency. It sent a clear message to the world and to Brad that the children were acting of their own free will. If you think one child taking this extreme legal step is shocking, what happened in the summer of 2026 will completely rewrite everything you thought you knew about this family. In June of 2026, the legal warfare escalated to unprecedented heights. Under California state law, legally changing your name requires a bizarre, almost archaic step. You must publish a notice of your petition in a local newspaper of general circulation for 4 consecutive weeks. This process is designed to give the public, or anyone with a vested interest, a chance to file a formal written objection before a judge signs off on the change. Most celebrities try to keep their private lives as hidden as possible, but Brad's children did the exact opposite. 21-year-old Zahara Jolie-Pitt took out a legal notice in the Los Angeles Daily Journal. The publication dates were printed clearly for anyone to see: June 16th, June 23rd, June 30th, and July 7th, 2026. She was publicly inviting anyone, including her father, to step forward and oppose her dropping his name. Her final court hearing is set for September 28th, 2026, and if no objections are filed, her name will officially be Zahara Jolie. But she was not the only one. Just weeks prior, her 24-year-old brother Maddox filed a nearly identical petition to legally drop the name Pitt. His legal notices ran in the same Los Angeles Daily Journal on June 10th, 17th, 24th, and July 1st, 2026. Maddox, who had quietly dropped his father's name from non-legal documents years prior, was now finalizing the split under the law, requesting to be legally registered as Maddox Chivan Jolie. Tell me in the comments right now, do you think these children are justified in completely erasing their father, or do you believe this is a coordinated effort to destroy a man's reputation? To understand the depth of this animosity, we have to look at the catalyst that started it all: the infamous private plane ride in September of 2016. While traveling from France to Los Angeles, an altercation occurred that permanently shattered the family. According to heavily redacted FBI documents and court filings, Brad allegedly clashed with his children, specifically Maddox, who stepped in to defend his mother. Though no criminal charges were ever filed, the emotional damage was absolute. The children's perspective on their father was laid bare in a leaked Instagram post from Jolie-Pitt. On Father's Day, Pac shared a blistering message calling his father a world-class asshole and a terrible, despicable human being. He wrote that Brad had no consideration or empathy toward his 4 youngest siblings, who would tremble in fear whenever they were in his presence. Pax concluded the post by saying Brad had made the lives of those closest to him a constant hell. This was not the voice of a child manipulated by a custody dispute. This was the raw, unvarnished anger of a son who felt abandoned and terrorized. The public was shocked, but the legal filings in 2026 prove that this sentiment was shared by almost every single sibling. But here is the most baffling question of all. With millions of dollars and the world's best legal teams at his disposal, why did Brad Pitt refuse to fight these name changes in court? A source close to Brad Pitt revealed that the actor is deeply saddened by the situation, believing that Angelina has systematically alienated the children from him. His camp views this entire legal saga as a tragic, never-ending campaign designed to erase him from his children's lives. Yet, Brad chose not to file a single objection to the newspaper notices published by Zahara and Maddox. He remained silent. Why? Because fighting his children in a public courtroom would be a public relations suicide mission. It would require his adult children to take the stand, under oath, and recount the details of their family life. It would force the unsealing of sensitive documents and subject Brad to a level of scrutiny that could instantly end his career. By choosing not to fight, Brad is making a calculated compromise. He is allowing his name to be legally erased to keep his darkest family secrets buried. The era of Brangelina has officially come to an end, and with it, the legacy that Brad Pitt spent a lifetime building. The 6 children, Maddox, Pox, Zahara, Shiloh, Vivienne, and Knox, have made their choice. They did not just walk away from their father, They legally and publicly dismantle his name piece by piece, proving that some fractures are simply too deep to heal. Ask yourself, if you were in their shoes, would you have taken such drastic legal measures to protect your own peace, or would you have tried to find a way to forgive? Share your theories in the comments section below, and let's start a discussion. If you found this investigation eye-opening, please give this video a like and share it with someone who needs to see the real story. To ensure you never miss our deep dives into the hidden truths of Hollywood's most powerful families, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video as we continue to uncover the secrets they don't want you to know.